working on the modern theories of international trade, and today's highlight is Linder's country similarity theory. Country similarity theory was propounded by a Swedish economist named Stefan Boomstam Linder in 1961. And in this theory, Linder suggested that this theory, that is country similarity theory, is particularly applied for or particularly fit for explaining trade in similar but differentiated manufactured goods. I repeat, in this theory, Linder suggested that this theory is particularly applied or useful for explaining trade in similar but differentiated manufactured goods. So what is meant by similar but differentiated goods? Suppose let us take an example of BMW and Toyota. Very expensive example, right? Anyway, in the case of BMW and Toyota, both the products would serve the same purpose of the customer. At the same time, both the products are differentiated from certain aspects like the type of technology used and the price of the product and materials used, etc. Both the products are differentiated from certain aspects, but the purpose of both the products would be same. Okay, and this category of goods is known as similar but differentiated product. And here Linder suggested that this theory is particularly applied for trade in this type of goods. Okay, and second point, theory is useful for the consumers of identical countries having similar needs and preferences. Identical countries means countries having similarities. And third point, this theory would be useful for the consumers paying more attention to brand name and reputation. Okay, so in this theory, Linder suggested that this theory would be useful for the above said situations. So what does this theory actually means? In this theory, Linder tried to explain the concept of intra-industry trade. So what is meant by intra-industry trade? Intra-industry trade refers to the export and import of similar but differentiated product between different countries. Okay, for example, Germany traded BMW to Japan in exchange of Toyota. This is an example of intra-industry trade. Here we can say that both the countries are exchanging similar but differentiated products. Okay, so this type of trade is known as intra-industry trade. So here Linder tried to explain the concept of intra-industry trade. So let's go to the explanation of this theory. Okay. In this theory, Linder said that international trade will take place largely between countries having similar qualities. I repeat, here Linder said that international trade will take place largely between countries having similar qualities. So what does mean by the similar qualities? Here similar qualities refers to the similarity in the level of development, cultural similarity, and similarity in economic factors like the saving rates, income level, and similarity in political factors, etc. So according to him, countries with the similar qualities are more likely to trade with each other. Okay, so what is the logic behind his theory? What is his logic behind this idea? In this theory, he explained that consumers in the countries that are in similar qualities would have similar needs, preferences, income level, etc. So these similarities in turn would result in more and more trade opportunities among the countries. What is his logic? The consumers in the countries that are in the similar qualities would have similar needs, preferences, income level, etc. And these similarities would result in more and more trade opportunities among the countries. And this is the basic logic behind his idea. Next, we have to understand how Linder explained a pattern of the trade in this theory. He said that when a company decided to produce new products, first company would produce those goods for domestic consumption. This point said that the companies would first produce the new products according to the needs and wants of domestic customers. and once those products are successful in domestic market, then those companies would decide to export those products to other foreign countries that look similar to domestic countries. Okay, and since both the countries are identical, the needs and wants of the customers are also more likely to be same. Okay, and these similarities would result in more scope for the trade among the countries. Okay, and the third point, these similarities between the countries would provide more scope for intra-industry trade among the countries. I have already explained the concept of intra-industry trade in the beginning of this lecture, and this is how he explained the intra-industry trade, and this is how the system of trade works according to Linder's country similarity theory. So according to this theory, the similarities between the countries are the basis for the trade among the countries. Now let us revise the important points of this theory. Country similarity theory was propounded by Stefan Bernstein Linder in 1961. This theory is mainly useful for the similar but differentiated manufactured goods for which customers of identical countries have similar needs. Also, the customers are paying more attention to brand names and reputation. In this theory, Linder tried to explain the concept of intra-industry trade. Next point, according to this theory, international trade will take place largely between countries having similar qualities, because this theory states that the consumers in the countries that are in the similar qualities would likely to have similar needs and preferences. These similarities would result in more and more trade opportunities among countries, and last point, this in turn would result in more scope for intra-industry trade. So hope you all are understood this theory, and in our next lecture we will discuss the product life cycle theory of international trade. And thank you so much and all the very best.